building community pages based off of golf course communities. Basically, we're going to show you two separate ways of adding it as an IDX Broker page, and the other is going to be adding it into your own page. So we're going to create a widget, grab that embed code, and show you how to put it onto your own domain. Two simple little tasks to do, show you how to gain the most out of it with the SEO as well. And then also, if you do have any additional questions, you can also email us to info@idxbroker.com, or you can give us a call. We can help you out there, and all that information is on our main website at idxbroker.com. So today I'm going to cover doing it with a golf course in Palm Springs area. I just happened to be visiting down there and noticed that there's more golf courses than there are Starbucks. So I figured this would be a great way. So I came back, I looked at some different areas and how it's being displayed through our system. Noticing that there's not an advanced search field for some specific golf course communities. So a great way of being able to do this is going to be with the Polygon tools, which is going to pull everything in from the geolocation. So I'll show you how to do that, and then show you the comparison. When you don't have it, there's also the ability to display things or create searches off of the remarks, which is going to be something that's going to be put in by the agents themselves or brokers when they do list it, if they do put the name of the actual country club, golf course, whatever it may be. When I did my test earlier, I came back with 64 results on Polygon and 33, so it had almost double the listings by using the Polygon tools rather than the advanced search fields and doing it with the remarks. So to get started, so Bermuda Dunes is one that I've chosen down inside Palm Springs area. My website is jefftrue.com, just my name. I will be adding the links onto this and showing you how to do those specific things. We'll go create a couple of pages, add it in during widgets. And we can even try to throw it in on the front page if you wanted to display them on here. Like this particular one, I've got Thurston High School homes. So I did area homes, and then not really sure what I did with this one, but there's a couple of different styles here, two different types of carousel widgets. I am using an Agent Evolution theme, and then I'm also using IDX Broker Platinum. One of the ways you could tell is one, I'm able to embed a map on the front page of my website, so I got this one down towards the footer. Second is the ability to use the Polygon tools, which you can't do with Light. That is a Platinum only feature. When you deal with these types of areas, it does kind of benefit you to use Platinum when you deal with these niche markets. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go take a look at the advanced search fields and what you can add. So we're going to go to Designs and Pages. Advanced Search tabs is where we're going to find those available fields. Over here to the right, we're going to select our MLS. We're going to deal with just residential. So I added remarks in here because I was able to perform a search and find a couple of listings off of that. Bermuda Dunes Country Club, I'm not able to find via area, subdivision, builder's model's name not there, builder's name, tract, and tract code, tract name not available to find. So I was hoping that I could find something over here that said golf course communities, anything like that. Couldn't do it. Association name I couldn't find it under. So these are all available fields from the MLS that's available via an IDX. It's very easy. If you do happen to see one over on the right inside your account that you want to add, it's very simple to do. Put RV, click on the plus, it adds it up in here. You don't like it there, you can take and move it anywhere you want, let go. If you want to remove it out of there entirely, just click the trash can and get rid of it. Once you make your changes, click Save, and we'll go back in there. So to start off with, we're going to create a predefined search. Going to create. So this is going to be considered a saved link within our system. Like I said before, we have the remarks or the Polygon. Polygon obviously showed more, so this is going to be the best test for this one, but I'll show you how you can test against what you're doing just to make sure and pull in the most listings. So we're going to pull it off of Bermuda Dunes Country Club. So you can see as you zoom in, zoom out, you can kind of see all the specific neighborhoods. The further you zoom in, it gets right down the street. The more you zoom out, you can see it's kind of more wide open. So in doing this, this one here has a little community over here, not necessarily built on the golf course. You can include it if you want. You can try both ways, including and excluding, just to see what you come up with. So for the polygon tools, you select the map to the height that you want, or elevation. Click on the little polygon tool, and we're going to choose a starting point. We're going to add a bunch of points on here where we want to try to run it in out of. Now you don't have to be very accurate with this. You can actually change it after you're done. These are most typically going to be done all here. So you can kind of go out a little ways. You can still move your map around. So you got different areas and neighborhoods. You can always, include this. It's close to the golf course, probably considered on there. We'll throw it in there. And for this side, we'll kind of keep it right along the golf course itself, along that street that's going to back up to it. And all right, so we got an interesting little shape there. So now what you want to do is basically whatever elevation you set this map at, this is what the results page is going to show. So if you want to kind of zoom it out a little bit, you can definitely do that. Let's say you want to make some changes to it, so you got a little edit button right here. You can edit your layers. You can take and zoom in a lot further once you do that. If you want to make any minor changes, just drag one of them and it'll move it out a little bit. So you can always adjust it, whatever you need to do just to fine tune it, make your save changes. And now wherever you set your elevations, what's going to show on that results page. So if you want to move it out a little bit so people can see where it's at within your city or town, you can definitely do that. Wherever you set it at is what it's going to show up on that page. So we'll go ahead and center it. And we're going to pull in just the one MLS. Residential income, not going to do any prices. You can set price, minimum, maximum. So what's kind of cool with that is you can create, say, 10 individual pages for specific areas. This particular area, they're all fairly high priced, but you could potentially do like between 200 to 400, make that a page. Make 400 to 600 price range, make that a page. 600 to 800, make that a page. So you can break it down for your client and name those page titles. So when people search for homes, $500,000 or between 400 to 600, you kind of think about how the people in your area are going to perform some searches. So we'll click on next step. This is going to allow us to change the page title. So this is what is going to appear up in the very top, up in the tab basically. So we're going to do Bermuda Dunes Country Club Real Estate. All right, so you can see there it changed and created the URL for us. If you wanted to have a page title different from your link URL, the long tail URL, you can definitely do that. You can change it. When you put a space in there, it does have a dash in there. I got a question here. It says, if you do different price ranges, do you have to draw the map again? Yes, unfortunately you will. There is a way to do a copy and paste. So you can do that. I haven't really played with that too much, but you can actually create new widgets by copying and pasting. You just have to go and update the prices. And we can definitely test that out and see. So anyway, so you can add any of your meta tag descriptions, any meta tag keywords if you'd like. Put them all inside here. You can use them, yes or no. I think Google just made it so now you can have more or longer meta tag descriptions to where it actually gives you the credit for it. You can add subheaders, so you can take and put a bunch of information about this particular area. I already copied some information about this golf course, so I'm going to copy and paste it over here. So I just went to the website, basically went to their website and pulled off some information about it. For this particular one, like if you wanted to go grab some images, you can put some images in here depending on what you want to do. Should be able to copy and paste it. I think majority of them allow you to do it. Yeah, save image as, so you could even do that as well. So an option there. So basically, this is going to be information about the area. let's see here, font size. We're going to increase it just a little bit, just so you can see it better on there. You can put your own title in there. So we can go ahead and make this one a little bit bigger. All right, so we'll have our title. So this can be our, do keep in mind this is just an example. Yes, it is a copyright violation to do that one. You are correct. But as far as grabbing an image, you can go to Google, pretty much find any images that are out there that's maybe not one that is copywritten, and then embed that into it just to be able to show examples of that area. There's also lots of images from people's phones, cameras on their personal, that's also in there. So you don't have to pull ones that are specifically from any of the websites. Just for an example, though, this one's going to be done just with the text. I don't have any images in here. If you do have a multi-user agent account, and if you have one agent that's going to specifically be working inside this area, you can choose that particular agent. So any lead that comes into this page, any one that's captured will be automatically assigned to that specific agent there. If you leave it blank, it will do the normal lead routing method that you have set up within your account. So we're going to click on Save and Manage Links. This can take us back to all of our links. So Bermuda Dunes Country Club. So basically what we want to do is we want to go now preview the link. Fantastic. Okay, so now you can see, so I've got the title up here, the information about this area is in here, 60 listings. Here's going to be the map that I created. Keep in mind this did leave it set up as the elevation that I did use. If I wanted to make it tighter, I could definitely do that. When you make the adjustments, you save it. Once you refresh the page, it will come in here. Notice the long tail URL. We did create it, and I put Bermuda Dunes Country Club Real Estate. That's going to be a searchable term inside Google once this page gets indexed and moves up a little bit. All listings are going to be available. Click into them. Everything is going to be there. So basically what we've got to do now is we created a page. You've got two different options. If it's WordPress, you can pull everything over via the API into your WordPress dashboard, and then add that to your navigation menu, add it to your front page, create an image or text from your landing page, and then once you have your client click on that, it'll take it to a results page that was going to look just like this. Now, if we wanted to test and make sure how we are doing against our results against other fields that are available, so some MLSs do have the area that you're creating this for is going to be there. Let's do a new search, and we can test this out. So advanced search is where you want to go. Residential, get rid of our minimum and maximum. So here's all the ones we had: area, subdivision, building style, not available. Remarks did have it. So we have Bermuda Dunes Country Club. So we can now test it on this, do a standard search. Basically, if you can search it on the front, you can search it on and create it on the back. So based off of the remarks, just alone, there's 33 listings that have it. So when an agent that listed some of these properties, they may not have put the name of the country club golf course inside the remarks, so it's not able to pull it in very well based off of that, what is searchable through the IDX. So there's two different options, but it looks like the Polygon obviously is working the best for this particular one. All right, so inside your WordPress dashboard, since I have created that, it is able to pull it over via the WordPress plugin, the API. We do need to pull it in. So we'll refresh this API while we go do something else, because it does sometimes take just a little bit of time to pull over the pages or the widgets that we have created. So now that way is going to be adding the subdivision page or niche market page through IDX Broker. So we want to show you how to create one using a widget. So if you go back to your main screen with IDX Broker, go to Designs and Widgets, and click on Create. So we want to create a different style. Let's say we want to have one that we're going to embed on a page that you already have. Typically, what's best used with this is going to be a showcase, where it'll show on a landing page you can display. So we know that there was, what, 60 something listings. Showcase, you can display up to 100 listings at one time. So that might be a better option to do with this particular one. We're going to do properties to feature. Custom search is going to be using your advanced search pages. And then polygon search is going to allow us to do that same style that we just did. So we're going to choose on polygon search. So we've got our Bermuda Dunes again. So we're going to go ahead and do the same way that we had done it using our polygon tools. And we'll go ahead and actually, let's do this. Let's stretch this one out a little bit. We'll show maybe some of these houses that are connected out and around it. And then we'll connect back over to it. So it changed a little bit, kind of threw these houses in a little higher. Let's go ahead and clean this one up. And save our changes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set our elevation, what we want it to do. So basically, let's pull this one in. Just actually, creating a widget, it's not going to really matter, I guess, off of this one. So we're only going to be displaying the little snippet of code that's going to have just the listings themselves through the widget, which can be a showcase. We'll go down here, select our MLS, and choose residential, nothing, nothing. Okay, so you have a couple of different options. So you can sort also by like newest listing. So we'll change this one up just a little bit. So responsive, yes or no. Basically, if you're going to be loading this into other pages, it is usually best to go as responsive. That way it will fit correctly and shrink down as needed within the container that's available. So let's say you have if you set the parameters on this to responsive no, you want to go a width of 900 pixels, but your website container is only 700 pixels, well, it's going to overlay those 200 pixels. When you have it displayed as responsive, it's going to recognize the 700 and shrink everything down. So the size of the showcase for the images for the individual listings is going to come down as well. So we're going to do responsive. That way we know for sure it's going to work. Bermuda Dunes Country Club widget. So we're going to price oh, that's additional filtering. Don't have that. Number of rows, not going to do. So width and number of rows is going to automatically adjust because it is responsive. But we can choose how many columns you have. So how many wide you want to go. 3 or 4 is typically a really good one to go off of. We'll go with 4. It'll keep it a little bit smaller, not quite as long. Maximum number of listings that we want to do is 100, so that we can make sure and show in the 66 or whatever it was, or 60. Basically what it's going to do is also, for those ones that are off of 65 and 100, it's going to eliminate those entirely and bring up the container still, so it's not going to show a bunch of blank area down below. You do have 2 options. You can open widget link in a new window. Let's say you created a niche market website. Basically, if you created a website that was Bermuda Dunes Country Club realestate.com, you can have just one landing page, just the listings on there. When you do click on that widget from within that domain, it will return back to your primary domain with IDX Broker. So you can add those widgets basically anywhere that you'd like. All results and details pages must reside on the domain that's registered with IDX Broker account. For this example, I'm not going to send it to a new window because I don't need to. So 2 different options here. We can pull it over via the API after building this if you're using WordPress, or you can copy this widget code, little script, and embed that into any domain basically. The only one that cannot work as far as a widget embedding it anywhere is going to be map search widget, but any of these predefined searches, you can add them anywhere. Any landing page, it will work. It's just pretty much simple as to copy and paste this script and embed it into it. If you wanted to test your widget, just to make sure, click on preview, and so you can see that we chose for it to be 4 wide. It automatically fits inside this container, and it stops at the number of listings that there is and does not leave a big blank screen down below. got lucky and evened it up a little bit. And the script is also available within here for you to go ahead and copy. So two different options. So this is the way a widget's going to display on one of the pages that you do create. So you can add this to your own domain, or you can use the IDX Broker one using that saved link. We're going to refresh this plugin one more time, so that way, as we're doing our stuff, it should be pulling over those inside the account. Like I said, it does sometimes take a little bit, so if you do pull it over and you don't see it immediately, don't panic. It does sometimes takes up to 30 seconds, maybe a minute, not usually very long. So now what we want to do is we want to go create and add some of this content to our pages. So communities, I don't have any of the ones that I did. Golf course community, so we can go add this to our golf course homes. Admiral's Cove is one I did last time, but let's put it into our golf course homes that we have. So we're going to go to our appearance, and we want to add it to our menus. Hopefully this page is in here, so let's go to IDX Broker Pages, Bermuda Dunes Country Club Real Estate. It is available. I want to select that specific page. We want to add it to our menu. It's very easy to do. It's so nice having that API because it does all the work for you. It kind of pulls it over, and then you can basically drag and drop where you want it to go. So it's always going to add it to the very bottom, but let's say that we want to add it up into our golf course homes. I'll show you. Okay, so basically if you have it, it won't pull over for some reason. That one will. So you can see, if it's on the left-hand side over here, it's going to display on as its own navigation menu. If you slide it underneath golf course homes, this will make this a drop-down menu. So now when I hover over golf course homes, I'll see Admiral's Cove and then Bermuda Dunes Country Club. We're going to go ahead and change this up a little bit so that it's more alphabetized, and it's going to be available. So now when we go to this landing page, it's going to have Admiral's Cove, and then it's also going to have Bermuda Dunes. Let's save our menu, and it is now added Bermuda Dunes Country Club. Once we click on this page, it is now going to show the header that we added in here, our number of results, our map of the area, and then all of our listings are going to be within here. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're working with WordPress, IDX Broker in general, even if it's on other pages, is we're having to deal with a wrapper to display these. So these are all displayed on subdomain pages, but the wrapper is what's going to display your navigation menu and what's going to be in there. So right now, if you look, well, fantastic. There must be an update in the plugin that now automatically updates the wrapper for you. Typically, you'd have to go in and update the wrapper to get this to show. So last time it did not have it, but now obviously it does it on its own. Let's say, for instance, if you are not using WordPress, you make some changes to your navigation menu, you add a whole bunch of pages on there, but when you go to your IDX Broker page, it's not displaying them all. You'll have to update the wrapper. You can call in, speak with our support team. They can help you out. If you're using WordPress, obviously it's going to do it for you and update it and refresh it. Pretty cool little deal. So what we want to do now, so we created our widget. So we want to make sure that our widget is now available, which is going to be under Appearance again, under Widgets. And we will go make sure we have, okay, so it's an IDX widget, Bermuda Dunes Country Club widget. So it did show up. As it's being a showcase widget, if we put that on the front page, it's going to make our front page very large, but it can be done. The best ones to do with those is going to be the showcase widget, or I'm sorry, the carousel widget, so you can have just 2 wide or 3 wide and be able to carousel through all the listings that you have. Best thing to do is let's go look at one that's got, let's go create our own landing page. So let's say that you're new to IDX Broker, you're coming from another vendor, but you already have your own pages developed with great SEO. You have some pay-per-clicks, you got Google AdWords already drawing traffic to it, but you just want to add the listings to it. That's when a showcase widget really benefits you, because all you're doing is adding to your SEO, not creating a new page and then having to regenerate that SEO work that you've already worked so hard for. So I want to add a page, or let's create a blog post. Blog posts and pages are going to be the same thing. Let's go add a new blog post. All right, so this one here is going to be the same thing, Bermuda Dunes Country Club Real Estate. Okay. Let's say we want to add our text. Okay, so here's some information about this golf course. You can go get your own content. Go drive around the country club, go drive around anywhere. If you have your own information about it, add it into here. Take your own images, put them in there, whatever you need to do to find some images. Now what we want to do is we want to add the widget. We want to add the listings below this main information. So here's our information about it, but now we want to have some listings. We're going to add IDX. We're going to choose what we want to add. So if you created a saved link, you can add a saved link on here. You can add widgets using saved links if you would like, so you don't have to do double the work now with WordPress. But for now, we're going to add an IDX widget. We're going to choose the one that we did, which is this one right here. So this is our widget. We've simply added it just right there. If you want to preview it, just to make sure, click the preview button. And so now here's a preview of our blog post. So Bermuda Dunes Country Club Real Estate, the information about it. If you have some images, you can upload some images up above. You can also embed YouTube videos. Let's say if you walk out to this particular country club, go talk to the pro shop, ask if you can create a short little video about Bermuda Dunes, and upload it to YouTube, grab the embed script. You can add your own video in here. It's kind of cool. YouTube is very powerful for SEO, as everybody probably already knows. So then once you create this blog post will, as long as you leave it open, it's always going to refresh this plugin and with the most current listings. As the listing drops off, it just removes the listing. As a new one comes up, whenever the refresh is done, it'll add it into here. Basically what it's going to do is they can see the preview of the image, and once they click on the image, it's going to take them to the actual listing itself. You will be able to tell within your account control panel, so when a lead is registered and clicking on the properties, it's going to tell you where the referring URL is. So you're going to know if it's coming from a blog post, a pay-per-click, Google AdWord, whatever it may be. You're going to see where you're getting the most traffic from. Seeing if blog posts or actual website pages are going to be benefiting you the best. I still think blog posts are actually doing really well as far as like drawing traffic to it. So kind of covers a majority of adding your own IDX Broker page to your website, or we've added a IDX Broker blog post and adding the widgets. Thank you guys for joining me, and have a great afternoon.